Good morning and welcome to day 2 of Bangs, Bobs, and Bits, or Bits and Bangs and Bobs, or whichever order.
And feathers and boas.
Yes, and boas. That's my favorite part. Ooh, look at your Crocs! They're so
Those
cute.
are cute.
Okay, so we have some Crocs in the house.
Yay.
So today is our second day of some hands-on. We get to do bobs and bangs again, so all of our models are ready for that are booked. And Travis and I just wanted to talk to you guys about your experience from last night, or yesterday, I should say. What are some of the things that you went home and thought about? And what are some of the takeaways and aha moments, if you guys want to share that? Do we have another microphone that we could pass around? So.
And you have I love this t-shirt.
This class is sort of like an intermediate to advanced class. So a lot of the basics and, sort of like cutting with the tip and the heel and the upward stroke and the tension and those sort of things, those are all things that we go over really heavily in more of a beginning class. And then we still do a lot of what we do out there. But just want to know how you felt. Like, do you feel like you'd benefit from a beginning class? So just, if you guys want to share, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, I feel like even though it's called like beginning, it's like even for me, it's like I always go back to like my basics and practice and,
Me too.
So I feel like you always get something out of it. And even if you've been cutting hair with a razor for, like me and Karina, like, I don't know, 17 years, I still like cutting that class, and I still like, it makes me, still cutting a bob with a razor or doing graduation with a razor, you have to think about it. Those are always cuts for me that aren't like the fun cuts. I like them and I'm always happy when I'm done, but it's like, I have to really like concentrate and I have to really watch my sections, and it gives you that discipline too, which it's always good to come back to that, because I think after a while you're just like, I've been doing this for 25 years and I know everything, and then you're like, oh wait, maybe I don't, or maybe I need to practice that again. It's just like when we style hair, it's like, how to do, there's a point where you're like, I can do like the perfect French twist. And right now I'm like, if I had to get on stage and do a French twist, like I would definitely need to practice that. It's not like I'm going to always be perfect. I mean, it comes back, it's like a muscle. Like obviously you're like, oh, I remember how to do that. But it takes a minute, even with like graduation so tricky, and it's always that length, like if I do it shorter here, and you just, all the little things like come back. But then on top of all that, you're trying to learn how to cut with a razor, maybe do it a little differently, like how we do it, or the technique is different, the blade is different. Like today with Karen, we had talked about, like, I'm like, we'll use the blade, the razor that we use here. What is it just the pony razor, or is it?
It's actually a feather plie brand,
yeah.
And they're the ones that are in Japan, and they make kind of like the one that you see a lot of,
yeah.
Or the one that people kind of copy.
And it's the one that I really like, but it's just the one I've only ever used that one.
That's what we got at Bumble.
Yeah, so that's what I know. So I'm like, I don't know if you like yours better, than use yours, But I was saying, let's do like a comparison today.
Okay.
For Karen. Yeah, you're gonna want that one. It is the best one.
You should get that one. I think, yeah.
Because when I use it's for me, it's not so much the tool, but it is the blade too. I just like that blade for me.
That blade is nice.
It's
nice
like I know that I'm not going to go through and like shred the hair and drag it and do all that. I know that if I need a brand new blade, I know how it's going to react. So maybe it is just because that's what I'm used to. But I always, yeah.
Do you guys want to share? Does anyone want to share? Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to go first?
Wait, did you cut your hair? No, it was like that. It was that length yesterday?
I did go home and trim it a little.
Oh, I like it. You got inspired. I was like,
He's got a good eye.
yeah, you can't trick me.
aha. And then I noticed for sure that like my left side always was my hard side that I struggled with before, and now it was like my right side that I was like, oh shoot, like what's happening? So seeing that and then helping me like see what I was doing wrong and like where that balance was off was a big help. So
Wow, that's a major one. Yeah, cool.
so working on that now.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's good to figure those things out. Like, where's my strong side? Where's my, not so strong side, or I like to say my good side and my better side.
Good morning. My aha moment, yesterday, was cutting curly hair, really curly hair with the razor. I don't normally do that. I normally
You don't?
cut.
Yeah.
I normally cut curly hair dry and with my scissors and not with a comb. So it was good to like feel a little intimidated and work out differently.
I feel like everyone's been told so much, like,
Right.
oh, you can't use the razor.
Right.
And you're like, yeah, you can.
And I
if you
know I
how.
learned that like in the past,
Yeah.
and you can, as long as you know how to use a razor, you can cut any hair with it.
Right.
So, but yeah, I just don't normally pick it up.
It came out really good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
it was
you.
really pretty.
So thank you.
And I like
for your
those
help.
finishing touches, like the signature, where it's like, oh, you just made it like extra special.
Yeah.
You took it like a little bit further. You see it and you're like, that was good, that was pretty. But you're like, how could it be even better?
Mm-hmm.
And that's those moments when it's like your magic comes out.
Yeah. So thank you for your help,
Yeah.
Travis.
Yesterday was super difficult for me. I definitely want to come back and take a back to basics course for sure. You helped me just a ton on everything. I kind of left feeling intimidated, but I'm here today, and so.
Glad you're
Oh
here.
yeah.
I
It's
didn't mean to make you
class.
feel that way.
No, you didn't make me feel that way. I just have to believe in myself more and be like,
Yes.
I do this.
Always.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I feel like the weight removal was a big thing for us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
And it's-
way more than you thought we could do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's okay just to go home and practice just the stroke. Just cutting you could do like, so you're not spending 500 hours on every client trying to figure it out. You could just do the length, just keep doing the length, like practice, cutting on the tip, cutting on the heel, just keep doing the length, do. And that just helps you just literally, because that is the biggest and most important thing is like
Cutting a line. Like
you
learn how
know?
to cut a line and you're going to be good.
Because I'm sure everyone knows how to do a shag and a thing and a bang and a bit, but when you do it with the razor, you're like, oh shit, this is very different, and it feels really different, and it feels intimidating, but that's how it should feel,
Yeah.
Good. Unless you're just so gifted and natural. I mean, I sliced the side of my finger off the first time I ever picked up the razor. Because I thought, I was like, I'm not going to, and it literally just shaved the side of my finger off. I was like, fuck. I was watching Coco, who teaches with us, and I was like, I can do this like Coco, and I'm like, oh, fuck.
There goes my finger.
There goes my finger. And I still cut myself
Not to
all the
scare
time.
you.
I have weeks.
But
Well, yeah.
it is one of those things you really have to be, like, people ask me all the time, Karina, how do I not cut myself? And my answer is always pay attention, because that's when you cut yourself, is when you stop paying attention to where that sharp tool is.
Yeah.
So you always have to know where it is. You always have to close it. Always pass it closed. Just be extra, extra careful when you're holding that tool. And then that takes time also,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It takes time to like,
And just be like,
be
just
afraid of
step
it.
back and slow down. It's like we're not trying to finish our client in 45 minutes. We
don't have
like
a
we had
client
talked about
waiting for us
yesterday,
in
like
the-
you were
in the
going
waiting
so
room.
fast, and it's like that's how we cut in the salon. But for the class, it's like let's just really like each section, cut it with a lot of intention and look at it. You have to like look at the hair in your hand that you just cut. Like what's that line look like? If I said I'm going to do a small stroke, is it a small stroke? Is it a medium stroke? Is it a large stroke? It's right there. It's like, is it even? Like I'm
Yeah.
trying to cut a straight line. And if it goes like that, then no, your line's not even, So it's just like every section is cut with intention, especially when you're learning. And then after a while, it just become, you know, you don't need to section.
Then
and do
it looks
clips and
easy, like you
things.
said. It looks easier doing it because I've been doing it for so long.
For so long.
And I'm still learning.
And I'm
Just
still
like
learning
Travis
too.
and I were talking yesterday about like a beginning course and that sort of thing and prerequisites, because he's like, well, maybe we should do prerequisites. I can't say that word. You know, for classes.
Yeah.
So people go through a thing where they're like, okay, you start here and then you get into the big, you know, the more intermediate classes and then the more advanced classes. But right now it's so small. We're such a small little company that we're just like, you know, doing these little things.
Yeah.
But we're learning as we're going.
Right.
And does anyone else want to share something from yesterday? Okay. Do we have the microphone somewhere?
I was going to say something else.
Oh, yeah, Denny, go ahead. Denny and then Karen.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was really cool. It's awesome to be here. It was like, you know, taking that moment to slow down, because it's you're pretty vulnerable when you're here with like a live model.
Of course.
I'm just like, whoa, like, you know, like
This
it's
is a
different, because I
person.
feel like when I've done classes in the past, it's been with like a mannequin head and like, you know, then other people, and you can kind of just do it. So like being vulnerable, and you know, special thank you to Travis for, you know, showing me how to like really take that neckline in and just like, you know, tension and all of these little things. So yeah, it was good.
Good.
What, do you
Came out
do you
really
find
nice.
it helpful to have a live model? Do you
Yeah, I
kind
mean,
of
it
like
was
that?
cool. I did like having the live model because I feel like I'm going to remember a lot more of this when I like take it back with me. But it is like, it's just like, you know, it's being vulnerable, and it's a little bit intimidating because it's like they're there, and it's like, you know, they're like, oh, this is my hair.
Yeah.
And also,
Yeah, they know that it's a class, and so you guys can feel really safe and comfortable to like talk about what you're doing, and you can even say, oh, shit. You know, you can do that. You know, it's free. They're not paying.
so, yeah.
But you know, but it is important to, and for learning to talk about it, and they know, and a lot of them are returning models, so they understand that when we
what's
say
going
something,
on.
they're going to be okay. You know.
But make sure all your models, like, they're here for a bob, you know, so a bob is a bob, you know.
Yeah, don't let them be
You
like,
can't
I'm
like,
gonna go
I
to
just
here.
want to trim to here. It's like, no, you're getting a bob.
Yeah,
Like,
we wanna
today
do
you're
bobs
getting
today,
a bob,
and we're doing
a bob
bobs
is
again
anywhere
today.
from here to your chin, you know, and
Yeah.
it's like they know that. So also, and if you feel comfortable, it's also okay to like push people a little bit, you know, out of their comfort zone, and
Yeah, maybe offer something that you think would
like
be really
maybe
great.
do this bit a little shorter, you know, see how far they'll go if you feel comfortable, you know,
or it's suitable.
or suitable, which suitable. If you think something's going to be really beautiful and amazing, and you know, like if I just do this thing right here in the hollow of their cheekbone, it's going to be.
We do have to
so-
remember that the models sometimes they don't know either.
Yeah.
They're like they think about things in length rather than like an overall greatness, right? So sometimes they're like, oh, I've been trying to grow my hair, so can you just? But you're like, well, that's going to be neither here nor there.
Right.
Like, what if we take it there?
Yeah.
Right? And we do something that's really impactful and gorgeous. So we'll think about it that way today. We could take it further if you want to. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Karen.
Hi.
I love your bags.
Thank you. I just got my bangs trimmed. Travis did some bits on me.
Some bangs and some
And
bits,
thank you.
real quick style.
I struggled with everything yesterday, but it was really good because I knew that's probably where I was going to be because I hadn't picked up my razor in so long. And I've been in my comfort zone now for a bit, and it's good I feel good being out of it. And I realize how much work I have to do because I'm not quitting this biz. I'm older now.
Yeah.
And I figure I can work about 10 more years doing this, and I'm going out with a bang, not
Absolutely.
some sloppy ass hairdo that some old lady did on someone. I want people to say, she's 65 and look what she gave me.
Major.
I want to feel like that.
She's an icon, a
I'll probably
legend.
see you in LA in November.
Oh my God, I
'Cause-
would love that.
Yeah, I would love that. So, and everyone was so helpful. I had you, Pam was helping me.
Pam was great.
And everyone around was so wonderful, and I just feel like I'm having a great experience. And I'm going to pass it because I'm going to start crying again.
If you have something to share, yeah.
Go out with a bang every day.
That's hard to follow up. Yeah, I felt like I had a really like tough model for me, which was she had very straight hair in front and super curly, super dense hair in back.
and
Ooh, that's
I
tricky.
kept accidentally graduating the bob line.
That's so. It's just whatever. It just happens.
Yeah, it was, and you were really helpful. I tried, but I'm like, I don't know. I think it was.
No, you
But
did.
it was great. It was good.
It takes
Yeah.
seeing it because
Yeah.
you don't believe me when I say you have to do this. You're like, yeah, I'm doing it.
I
And then
thought
you're
I
like,
was,
wait,
you know.
why isn't it working?
You like trick
Because
yourself.
It's even more than you think.
Yeah.
And that's,
Yeah.
I think, especially with hair like that, because it was like that really strong, flat S wave that's like tight. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you even pull it down. It's like, no, I have an S pattern and it was dense. It just jumps so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good. I think that was good.
Yeah.
It's fun to see that happen because then you're like, okay, I can really drop it past.
Yeah, yeah. And it was nice too because like some of the photos that we looked at, like it did have a little bit of graduation in the back, so she was okay with it
Yes.
in the end. But like it was like, no, I wasn't planning on doing that though,
Yeah.
you know, and just
Right.
being honest with yourself, you know?
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
true because you can do something that still looks cute, but did you do it on purpose?
Yeah.
And can you do it again? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to share too?
Yeah, I got so much from yesterday. It was so fun. I feel like normally I would be super hesitant to graduate a
Yeah.
curly bob. Like in my head, I think Sassoon, like cheese wedge.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think like I just really got to like get in there, and I took so much weight out.
Yeah.
And
she had
I-
so much hair.
She had so much hair,
Yeah.
and I just like kind of shredded that thing, but
Yeah.
it was like good. And
She had such a cool look after.
She was so cute.
totally. And like even like knowing that like her curl's gonna jump up, I was dropping my section and it was still graduating.
Yeah.
And I liked that because it like kept the graduation low.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was like so cool and so fun.
Yeah.
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 Awesome. Yeah.
It's fun to put shapes into curly hair, you know, because I think that women and men are so open to that now. And like, even like 17 years ago, or when I started doing hair, like curly hair girls were very difficult. Like it was just like, this is my hair. I can't have a frizz. I can't have a shape. I can't have any weight out. I can't have any layers. You're like, okay, but you can, you know, and you can still blow it out and have movement. But I like that people are more open to curly hair and shapes. And this
Natural
is the time, you know,
texture
and it's like, oh, I can have that bob and I could do, and she can go home and blow it out and have more of a sleek, you know, Vidal Sassoon kind of feel to it. And even better because it's, I think, with the razor and it's
Yeah.
softer, it moves around. But
Me too. I think so too.
so that's why this class is really, it's fun because you see someone, you're like, wait, I'm giving this curly hair girl bob. You're like, yep.
Yeah, and they're there for it.
And they're there for it.
What I wanted to say too is we have a different crew today, so I wanted to make introductions. We still have Wendy and Brendan here, Amanda on makeup, Pogie Tales on Instagram, and Michelle's still here. But now today we have Eric, and Eric is Trapeze Boy on Instagram, and I don't know who that guy is in that booth back there. I forget his name. But Candy is here. Can you say hi? Candy is
Candy.
here to help. Candy works as a pony stylist and also moved to Oklahoma, her hometown, and only comes and works here once a month or so. But Candy's here.
Oh,
Candy's here to help us again today, and Eric is amazing. So you guys are going to have a good crew today. Amanda's going to be here part-time, I think. And then Steve, the sound guy, that's his name, but he was really sad that I didn't introduce him yesterday. So I wanted to make a special shout out to Steve, the sound guy. Thank you for everything you do.
Yeah.
He's like, do you not like me anymore?
I think Steve should be a model for a class.
I know, he has the best hair. All right, so let's get started with our models today. Travis is going to open up the class.
Yeah.
And just remember today what I want you to notice in the demos is partings, how we're combing, how we're holding the hair, our stroke, our choices. Like really watch those and think about like, would I do that? Or, oh, that's exactly what I would do. Or, you know, really ask questions and remember, you're going to go do this. So make sure you're getting everything that you can out of it, okay? So we'll bring up Chris.
Chris, yes. Hello, good morning. So this is my model, Chris, and we had spoke this morning about, our inspiration and what we were going to do, and we decided, at first, I kind of had it in my head that I wanted to do a bob to the chin, graduated, more like classic G-bob with a razor. And then she kind of was more into having it a little bit longer. And then we started, just with her look and her style and her face, like she can really, like you can do a lot. And so I thought, well, let's do more. To me, it felt like a Debbie Harry / 90s Courtney Love bob, but also something that she could blow out and still with the shape of the bang, kind of have like more of a sleek, really pretty 60s bob. And 60s bobs to me always feel somewhere, somewhere around here, mid-length, I think would be really nice. And I wanted to keep the line a little more, well, we're definitely keeping the line square. Let me get my comb. I feel like it's nice to kind of point. So right around here, keeping it square, and so that will be the length of that. And then with the bangs or fringe, I like the length of them, but I just want to open it up, so underneath, definitely do some shorter bits through here. I liked how Karina had left that out through here. So maybe I'll just kind of see how the bangs fall. I don't want to go too short. I like the heaviness of that. I like the kind of like a Marianne Faithfull 60s
Yes. So cool.
So Marianne Faithfull / Debbie Harry / Courtney Love. I like all that. And I always think a longer fringe with the bits is always rock and roll to me. And it's always like, that look is just always sexy. Because Marianne Faithfull was that girl of the 1960s dating or marrying Mick Jagger. And, so it's always like, it's just, to me, that length feels rock and roll, and I feel like she wants to still feel sexy and have hair, and it can just be like tossed and turned and woken up and messy and have a shape, and it still is really cool. And at the end, I wanted to have some movement, a little more movement and layers that she can mess up and just do this in the morning, and it's just sexy. And I like that, like already you're like, yeah, that's gonna be so good. And I'm just gonna show you a technique at the end of how I layer it, and that's it.
Yeah, easy breezy.
Easy breezy.
Rock and roll bob.
I mean, it's already kind of like, oh, okay, I'm done.
I know. It's like
I'm
you
done.
could just take your scissors and
There
go like
we
chunk,
go.
chunk.
But you can just really see it and visualize it, and I think it's fun to talk to your clients about references. I think references are so fun. I always use them. I kind of use the same ones, and then I get sick of like, how many more times are you going to say Bridget Bardot bang? And then you get in, so it's just, it's nice. It's nice to throw out some cool references for people. And I think that people appreciate that and like it. So I guess we'll just get started. If anyone has any questions, just wet her down. Yeah.
What's her hairline look like?
Oh yeah.
What's her texture
sorry,
like?
Gosh. Her hairline. So I did talk about it through here. This is her recession, and then her other recession is here, and that's something I talk about a lot. This is high recession, low recession, and right here at her recession, it pushes off to the side. She has this little C. And then over here, she doesn't have that. So you definitely want to take that into consideration. And then along here, I feel like this side of her hair isn't as much of a wave, like kind of grows back and then forward. So I'm thinking all of that. And then in her crown, this is just naturally where it parts. And I'm going to start my layer at this point and go around and do pie sections. And then the nape, she has a really nice nape. And she did say that she might be open to doing the graduated bob eventually. She said work up to that. So she really would be like such a great graduated bob, because her hairline in the back, you would think it would be a little more jumpy, but it's just really beautiful and like it's kind of straight down. the texture of her hair, she has a good amount. I feel like she also, like your model yesterday, is curly under here. I don't quite know. I don't think it's going to be as curly, wavy in the front. And it's a pretty good amount, like medium. But it's still very soft and fine. So I want to take that, also think about that as I'm cutting it. And with the blade, I don't want to use too much of the flat. Like I really want to stay on that edge and keep everything clean because I don't want to like fry her, you know, make her hair get frizzy. And then she leaves with like, she looks like a little baby chicken.
Like a chemical cut.
Yeah, you know, it's like, we used to work with someone who liked that texture, like on short hair sometimes, and sometimes that like actually kind of works and could be cool, but not for today. And is there anything else that I didn't cover?
Got it. Questions? Yeah. Okay.
It's weird, I can't watch myself do that.
Do you want someone to wet her down at the bowl?
Sure.
Okay.
Or I can just wet her down here.
Okay,
Is
whatever
that okay?
you prefer.
Yeah, I'll just do that. Should I do the white?
Let's use the dark cape since her hair's light.
Okay. Oh, Karina thinks of everything.
Just put it on backwards.
See, you guys, look. If you're here yet, see? Everyone's like, yeah, that's really cool. That was my...
Because I had my necklace on backwards and it was like showing up the right way. So I was tripping. I was thinking that was going to happen there.
That was so funny.
Yeah, it was really embarrassing.
I'm always going to remember that. So let's just wet her down. Is there any questions, things anybody has?
Where are you going to start?
Where am I going to start? That's a good question. I think that, where should I start? Should I start with?
The bob?
Yeah, let's do it different. Yesterday I started in the front, today we'll start in the back. It is nice, because she already, you know, she has a fringe already, so it's kind of fun to do that when they don't have one and you're creating one, and they can see it right away. And then it takes that nervousness out of the cut. I really like her natural texture. I like what's coming out.
I think she has similar hair texture to your model that
Yeah.
you had, except her hair is less dense and it's a little bit, each strand is a little finer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she's got that super wavy,
But also in the
wavy
front,
texture.
it is, you know, there's more, it's definitely more hair back here, like the meaty part of her hair. So I probably won't remove as much weight through the front either. But I love like just this, whatever's happening through here, I think is amazing. Should I have wet her down in the sink? Yeah, let's just do that really quick. I feel like this is gonna take 500 hours.
All right, you can come right through here.
I didn't know what we were supposed to do. Yes.
When you talk about, because her hair's finer, you're going to use more of the, you say the tip versus the flat blade?
I'm gonna use the edge.
The edge.
Yeah, I can show everyone. Just to go over that again, because I felt like there were a lot of questions. So this is how I always hold my razor. If you have this, how do you say it? The
handle in between the fingers, or
just this type, the fly. I used to always say it.
Oh, the straight edge?
razor.
Yeah.
It looks like an L, or whatever. I remember some people said it was like a sailboat or whatever, but I just remember L or a V. And I always put one finger in front and then everything else in the back. And then this is the edge. So when I say cut with, or not the edge, with the heel, this is the heel, basically technically kind of from the middle to the bottom, or the tip, which is obviously the tip. But you can kind of, you don't want to really go further down into this because then that's the edge. and or
The heel.
the heel, tip, heel. And when you're cutting on the edge, it's almost, this is like an old school analogy, is you're putting it in to remove the weight and you tilt it a little like it's a key. Boop, boop, boop. And this will this sets you up to the edge. This is the edge when you cut on the edge, right?
Yep.
And see, if I go this way from the middle to the left, I'm cutting on the heel because I'm right-handed. It's the opposite if you're left-handed. And I'm still, would keep the angle, should be like this.
So it's almost at a 45.
It's almost at a 45.
Not straight up and down with the hair, it's tilted towards the hair.
So I just felt like, yeah, everyone had questions about that. And that's just some basic stuff with the razor. So when we're talking about the tip, the edge, where you are, the heel, you know, everyone's on the same page today.
Can you show them what it looks like to cut on the flat?
Oh yeah, and then if you're cutting on the flat, it's literally like, so here's a strand of hair, and you just put it flat onto the hair. Would this be perpendicular?
Yeah, I mean, it's still perpendicular because you're creating on the hair strand, but it's flat. So instead of being on the edge, you're flattening the blade.
So this would be the edge, and that would be me killing myself.
Yeah.
And then here is on the flat.
Don't do it.
And then you tilt it just a little, and it does feel and look like you're shaving the strands of hair, your section. It's almost like you're shaving it off.
Yes, and so the edge cuts a line, the flat takes it away.
Yes.
Yeah, so if your line is too strong, you can use the flat to soften it. Remember when I did a little flat in the center of my bang?
But also remember, when you cut with the flat, it removes a lot of weight. So it's a lot, it can be a lot of weight removal too, as well. And
I remember watching Kat do graduated bobs with just the flat of her blade.
Yeah,
like the whole thing.
I mean, it's just, it comes out really cool.
It just has to be like deliberate. You know, you have to know you're doing that and why, and practice. It's like, what happens when I do this?
But if you feel like, you know how Karen was saying, you know, like it's kind of feeling, you're revisiting the razor again, I would practice more on the edge before you kind of get into working with the flat of the blade, unless you're setting in the hairline. Does everyone understand like why you set the hairline in? Yeah, okay.
And you don't always have to either.
Yeah,
it's
I don't think
something
with her,
like if your bob is really short or if there's a lot of action down there, like I think it was your model whose hair was growing straight up into the hair. So that's a good time to just like kind of take it down.
So I'm gonna keep my sections pretty clean today. And does that look straight? Straight-ish?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just doing this part, taking the time here. I want you guys all to see what I'm doing here. And I always take the time just to comb everything, and that also, I think, gives you that moment just to sort of see where you're at, taking the time, if you want to, if you feel like you need to. But I think in class 2, people, including myself, when I take classes with other people and learn new things, you tend to just go fast, and you know, you just want it to be over with. You're just like, I just want to finish this. Is there a towel? Yeah. Did anyone go out last night? No.
Was anyone
Yeah.
was anyone exhausted after the learning? Feeling a little exhausted?
It's frazzling, right? It's a lot. I went, after work, I was just like, okay, I'm going to just go now and relax. You comb all that.
Travis, this is your stuff, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to move it closer to you so that
Okay.
way you can stand on the other side when you're cutting.
Okay.
It's easier.
Okay, so her makeup looks good, right?
Yeah.
I like the heart. It's so cute. I want one of those. So I'm gonna just I'm gonna set the hairline in because I feel like that's something that, unless you've taken classes at Pony or Bumble, it's not something that people do a lot. So I just want to kind of go over that again too. I think that's a good point. She doesn't have a lot, but when you're doing it, it's literally just pinching out little hairs. I don't know if any of you work with wigs. Eric was doing that today on his wig. I was watching him, and he was just kind of plucking out little pieces. It's almost to make it look soft and natural. So if you do that, even with wigs, you just take in the hairline. It's always nice to take that and soften it up. And it's also think of it as it's a little bit of an undercut, so then your next section just lays down flatter. But she doesn't have a lot. I just wanted to go over that real quick. Did anyone have any questions about the setting in the hairline? No? Okay. So I'm going to take that, and this is where I cut with a flat. So I'm on top of it. I tilt it just a little. And my tension is still really taut.
So I do have a question, actually.
Yeah, sure.
So if somebody had like a jumpy hairline, like you said someone's model yesterday, it was kind of growing up.
Yeah.
Would you just like always do it in the direction that it's growing?
I always do it in the direction that it's growing.
Okay.
If you go in the opposite direction, you're going to create like a hard line. And the purpose of setting in the hairline is to melt the hair. So see how it's I'm just almost like shaving. And if it helps you to pull it out.
Thank you.
Can you see in the camera? Okay. It just sets it in a little bit. I didn't really need to do that on her. I just wanted to go over it one more time. I think it's always nice to see it. And then with the section too, really with her bob, I don't need to do 500 sections. It's just take in that first section. It's a pretty good section. Because this part of the haircut, it should go pretty fast. I feel comfortable. It's also just what you feel comfortable with. Your previous section, it's really important that you can, your next section that you take after this section, you want to be able to see what you cut previously. That's very important. If not, then that's when you lose the cut. So you always want to make sure that you can see what you're cutting compared to what you had just cut. And you always want to bring, if you're doing a bob and you don't want it to graduate, you always bring each section down past your previous section. Okay. So we had said mid-length, like right about here. So I'm going to go a little shorter. Can everybody see? Should I move it this way?
Right there.
Okay, and I'm gonna do more of a very clean straight line. So I'm taking a small stroke, and I am gonna remove just a tad of weight through here where it feels a little bulky. And I'm doing it first because I want the line to be solid and look straight, but I still want it to feel soft. So you can see what you cut. Over here, I'm just going to take it's literally just little slivers of hair. And I only take, like I let that drop out. So that's my guide. And there we go. And I have a little guide that goes back. I think I'm going to go just a tad shorter. Say that again?
Rotate that chair back. You move to the left. Right there. There you go.
Okay. Can you see?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, it's better. There's a lot more to think about when you're up here on stage too. So I tilt my hand out so I can get in here with my edge easier. There you go. And I cut it until it feels comfortable. So I stop right there because I feel like if I cut this, I'm going to drag that, and then I'll lose my line. There's that little bit. Get that off. And even over here, to make it easier, I always tilt the head a little bit. Bring that down. That.
Yeah, if something feels awkward or uncomfortable, a lot of times it's just that. It's just, slow down, like Travis said earlier, and readjust things,
Yeah, like right now, it's just like, okay, wait. Because, I haven't really cut on stage in a while, so.
And yeah, your model's head moves and they're happy to help you, so we're not trying to do weird positions to get into an area.
Travis,
Yes.
can we just try something different? Or
Yeah.
we're actually switch the whole and just move over here.
Oh, I'm sorry, I asked you to cut on that.
That's okay. So this actually feels so much better too.
Awesome.
Thank you.
The only thing I worry about is he cuts with his right hand. And sometimes
We're experimenting with the left hand, not the right hand.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so just let me know if you can't see, and I want everybody if people are watching and are online.
At home.
At home, that's what I'm trying to say. So through this section, again, I'm just taking a little bit of the weight out. I don't want to go too crazy. And I just look where the shadow is darker. That means it's a little bit meatier through there. Just taking little slivers.
That's good.
over here, just one, just a little. Oh, thank you. I was like, who is this?
It was like he was waiting for him all morning so he could step on him.
Someone's trying to kidnap me. So I go, and then I go past my previous.
See that finger tap? That's what gives you that real good line. That commitment.
And her hair jumps out a lot.
It's just like your model yesterday.
So that's, it's good to, I'm going a little bit down further than I thought even too. I always check.
The mirror image of your line that you leave behind is in your fingers. Check it out. Is it straight?
And also, I dropped that previous section out, but I also moved my hand down a little further than even what you think you're going to use, because if you get it right, I want my length to be right here, and you're cutting right there, it's
Gonna
difficult.
go shorter.
So it's okay to you have to keep that tension. I don't want to get lost. So I'm right here, I know, keep my hand down, and then I just it feels more comfortable. And then you feel when you start to lose your tension too.
Because of the stroke, your line is always going to be just a touch shorter than where you stop at. So if your target is really important to you, and it's not like, oh, it's fine if it's shorter, right? Because some people are like, I want my bang at my brow. I don't want it above my brow or past my brow. I want it to be right in the middle of my brow. Right? Isn't that a little nerve-wracking? So you just have to really, practice that sort of getting that right length.
And I think now with this section, that length is going to come hit right mid. But this is a little intimidating, when that happens. It's like, whoa, and then it gets all curly and you're trying to figure it out. It is a lot. What do you feel like, Karina, when that happens?
When the hair jumps up?
Yeah, you have to really make sure where you're at. Mm-hmm. Unless you're just, doing curly, but...
Right.
But I'll probably, when I style her hair, I want to stretch that out a little bit. I want to work with her texture, but I also want to stretch it out. I like that little marker. There's my previous. I feel I lost my tension right there, so I just stopped. Then I go back and I just do that piece right there. Check my line. And I also do, what is this? What is actually happening back here?
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah.
Dropping it past, kind of exaggerated.
Yeah, I'm just exaggerating it because I don't want it to graduate. And if she just wears it naturally, it's going to naturally just start to graduate. Even as I'm dropping it, I'm like, okay, let's see. What is this giving right now? So see, right when I get to my knuckle, I feel the tension changes. I just know that, so I just stop. Sometimes in the salon, I don't, because I just know I can get that right. But I think when you're learning, as soon as you feel that you lose your attention, just stop. Just drop it. Mm-hmm. And it's okay to move them around. Move your model around. to get in front of that section. Is the camera on camera a little bit easier? So I dropped, but I even keep moving my hand more because now I know. And even, you know, I'll just do stuff like that too. It's always okay to check.
And this is sort of that last section where you can nail that length, you know, like this is your kind of your opportunity to get to that length where you want to be. And also to know if you're too long.
Yeah. And I'm feeling really happy. I feel like, you know, this is, we said mid, I'm right there. And see right here, it's like, oh, how do you get in there? So I'll do whatever it takes to make that feel right when I'm using my stroke. Because that's what's more important is how does it feel? It always has to feel the same. So I'll do a tilt. I'll tip my fingers out.
Pam called that opening the door.
Opening the door. Yes. Were there any questions from the...
Yeah, I have one here. Jace is asking, why do we keep their head straight? I'll go ahead and answer that one.
Yeah, that's a good question.
So
That's a really good question.
when we have our clients look down when we're scissor cutting, it's to avoid graduation when we're doing a one length. We all know this, right? So we have them look down so that we cut it. When they look back up, everything kind of comes back down to that one length. So that's with scissor cutting. With razor cutting, we are doing moves to make sure we don't graduate rather than having them do the move. Does that make sense? So it's actually better for us to have them look straight ahead so we know exactly what we're cutting. So it doesn't surprise us when they look up. Yeah? Sometimes that happens and you're like, oh, it's way longer than I wanted it to be when they look up because it grows like an inch when they do that. Especially with razor cutting because there's a stroke involved. With scissor cutting, you know, usually it's this or it's a blunt or it's a point cut. But the reason for the little head tuck down is to prevent graduation.
Look how curly it got.
Looks really good. Yeah.
So I think it's nice too, like for her, even though when she came in it was more blown out straight, but I mean, we have a really, it's like that texture is so pretty. It's like this perfect curl. And maybe, you know, that's something she doesn't always feel comfortable with.
It just never stays. I've had so many people try to work with that.
Yeah.
For some reason, when it dries, it just goes away.
It just
goes away.
straightens.
Yep.
So that's always good to know too. Like she knows what her hair's going to do after an hour. So, but I like the way it looks right now.
It's
Looks
the
good
whole
on the
wet. It's the
camera.
whole wet look that you love.
And then again, I'm just doing my section. I didn't really go to either recession. You can, but I felt like her hair was a little finer, so I went up. It's just right in between. It's just wherever it falls.
We
And
have a
then-
comment, if I
Yes.
could, from D.
Hi, Dee.
Oh, my eyes. Yeah, just see.
Hi,
let's
Dee.
just say D. Hi, D. Thank you
Dee.
for being here again. D is saying it looks great.
Thank you.
Nice and close on camera.
Nice.
Thank you.
for
And
the
hi,
feedback.
Travis and Karina.
Hi.
Always fab.
Wait, who-
Heart eyes.
Do we know Dee?
Who's D?
Who's Dee? Is it Denise? No. Dee.
D. Lalama. She's always on, so I wonder if we know
Hi, Dee.
her, him, they, them.
And then again,
You're welcome,
I take a
Jace.
piece in front of the ear, and then I cut everything back, and then this will be my guide to cut in the front. Which
Daniela. Do you know Daniela?
Daniela. Oh,
I'm sorry if I'm spacing on who you are, Daniela.
I know a lot of Daniela. Dee. Where do you live? I'm like, okay, cool, thank you. I'm like, psychically, I'm like, where do you live? I see you might be a hairstylist.
Oh my God, I am!
Do you do hair? You do hair. Okay, cool. You don't live in Oakland, though, right? Okay.
You're
I'm
not
seeing
in this room,
a computer.
right?
There's a television, computer, a screen, maybe.
Am I right? Am I right?
That's so dumb. I'm sorry. But that's like, I always wanted to do that. So here's my previous section. I want to be like, what's their name? That
Cleo?
Huh?
Cleo?
Not Cleo. Cleo wasn't real. I like the other, what was his name that, he passed away, he was from Puerto Rico.
Oh.
Yes, he was so major. I live for her.
Daniela is in Vancouver.
Daniela.
And has taken classes with me and also watches all the online classes.
Thank you so much, Daniela. Thank you for your support. So, sorry.
It's getting dramatic.
I know. This is where it gets rowdy.
Drama. Day 2.
This is where it gets punk rock and you guys start spitting and throwing things at me. Woo! Throwing beer. Throwing your green juice at me.
Your acai breakfast.
Is it? Okay.
One thing, too, I want you to notice is Travis's rhythm and consistency.
My rhythm. I have a lot of rhythm. I told you, it gets weird. It gets weird. That was so bad, too. I'm such a bad comedian. But you guys were laughing, so. So even over here, same. I do behind the ear, I'm gonna actually, this section, I'm gonna take a little weight out because it feels a little
dense
meaty.
there.
Yeah, it's always behind the ear. So I'm gonna just address that right now. See, that was a little more than a sliver, but I felt like this section felt a little meatier right in here.
Mm-hmm. So notice how he combs some of his guide, and most of what he's about to cut is in front of his knuckle.
Yeah, so I see where that is, so I know, I visually just kind of see that line, but I go further. I felt like I did that. See, and see how this was a little longer? So I check that, and then it's hard to get that bit, so I go in, like I'm taking weight removal, and then this is in my fingertip, and I just pinch that off. But it's harder to go back and do that after you've already cut that. And then yesterday I did all one side, but I'm gonna go back and forth. But I'm gonna take my
Someone wrote in and said Walter was the medium?
Walter McCart. What was his last name? Yeah. Do you know who he is?
Is that the young kid?
No, he was Puerto Rican. He was one of the first like psychics on TV, but he really was like he knew about the stars and the moon and full moon, and this is all happening, and he was Puerto Rican, and he started out doing like shows, wanted to be an actor, and then he did this morning show, astrology show, and then he really kind of became really famous. But he really was like psychic and a medium. I don't know if he was a medium, but if you don't know,
he was.
But he was also such a character, which I think is what made it so fun. Like, he didn't make it weird. He made it like kind of glamorous and like feathers and bugle beads and like the whole like how we joke.
And bangs and bits.
Bangs and bits and things and like his hair and he was just really super fierce. But they also
saw a picture.
They also did a documentary about him, and it's really amazing, and you really love him.
Watch
he's just kind of a beautiful person. Yeah. Yeah, like you just love him, and you obviously watch it and you're like, he's probably has a husband or whatever, but that was never like, it didn't matter. People just loved him. Like his spirit was just very pure and beautiful. So I'm going here, I'm going to start jamming through this a little bit faster.
Rotate the chair right, please.
More like that?
Other way.
You're right. This way?
Perfect. Yep.
This way?
Yep.
Okay.
And also,
And see how I am just really breaking down these sections because, again, you know, doing all this on camera and all of that, it kind of puts me into a different space. Like I feel a little uncomfortable right now doing this bob, but not in a bad way. It's just, there's just things that I'm thinking of. So instead of trying to really like do a big section, I'm like, no, I'm just gonna break all these little sections down, and that's okay. You can still do it fast, but it keeps you really on track. And then I can already tell this little section under here is straighter, so I'll probably have to address that when I'm done.
but all that other stuff might straighten still, like she said.
Yeah,
So
like she said,
we'll
it
wait
straightens.
until
So
the
when I
end.
do this, it's really hitting, you know, where I want. Tilt your head.
We have about 10 minutes.
Okay.
15 if you want.
Okay. So I did that. Tilt your head. So I'm taking a section from the back to the front. Tilt your head.
Amy says, we love Walter Mercado.
Who said that?
Amy, a legend. He was obsessed with love. The custom
was.
outfits are legendary. Legendaria.
What do you think of the
His
length?
hair is mage too. Check him from the 80s. Love you, Amy Farrad. Kiss,
Oh,
kiss,
of course.
kiss.
He was just about love. He was really sweet. He was ahead
I'm
of his
gonna
time.
watch
He was a
it.
trailblazer.
We love you, Amy.
I feel like people like that are always in their time. Sometimes people just think they're like, "Oh, he's just a weird freak," but really you're like, he's just this really nice human with a big heart.
Let's turn her a little to the...
Turn to the camera and see if we cut.
There we go. That's
Okay,
great.
tilt your head.
And Chris is going to have to go to a show tonight. With her new rock and roll bob.
It's a little longer over here, so I'll go back. And I can see that where I did that.
Turn her towards the camera.
Like that?
Her face towards the camera.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just getting that little bit. I go in like I'm removing weight, and then I pinch these little pieces off.
Yeah. That looks good.
Okay. And with her bangs too, it was good to start in the back and with the bob because, like I said, I'm not really changing her fringe too much. Just breaking it up a little bit. And that's another thing too when you're doing hair, not every aspect of the haircut has to be like life-changing makeover. It's like if it looks good and it's working, then just trim it up and shape it up and make it a little better. Even if they come in and it's like someone else had cut their hair and you like what they have, you don't have to like reinvent every single style either. But you can always do your touch and make it a little better. Taking a little weight out.
Turn the chair towards the camera, please. A little more.
I'm wondering if Daniela is talking about the app, but she says, I like it. It's nice and slow. As for educational purposes, it makes a lot of difference for us to learn.
What?
Thank you, Daniela. Turn her towards the camera. Make the second section a lot longer than the first one. So it's really just staying present and kind of committing, you know? Because I think that's the thing is like when I was learning with the scissor, I would get, some of my models would get turned away because my instructor would be like, this person isn't suitable for this bob. This hairline isn't right for this bob, or whatever the thing. And so I'd have to be like, sorry, you came all the way here, but you're not going to be able to, I can't give you a free haircut today. Whereas with the razor, you just adjust your technique and you can make it work on anyone, you know? And that's what I loved about my training with the razor that was different from the scissor, is that if something isn't suitable for something, then you can kind of make it suitable. If hair's too thick, you can thin it out. If a hairline is too crazy, you can, you know, basically erase it, right?
Okay, so now I'm going to do the bangs and then the bits, and we're good to go.
Or also you can embrace it. You can erase it or you can embrace it. I just made that one up.
I like that.
Right?
What is this? So I'm just doing a classic bang section. Here is where the head shape, you know, just a little point right there. That looks pretty good. Okay. And then with the bang, I think I'm going to cut it a little more like not so section. I'm just going to take weight out.
So Daniela was referring to your stroke being slow and nice and slow. Thank you for that.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah, I just wanted everyone to be able to see that you don't have to like jam through it, even though I should be going a little faster.
No, you're good.
We're good. And then I'm just doing this just visually. And I'm not cutting with the flat. Still on the edge. I'm just, like, I know I just want that little center. I want this to push off to the side. I want it to look a little on the heavier side. And then this next section.
I feel like a heavy bang is kind of rock and roll, right?
Yeah, it's always, so it's really, I'm just taking this in the middle. I like where that's going. Kind of cleaning that up. Take a little weight out. Because I want it, if she wants to blow it out, you know, I always like hair in the face. I know it's not practical. I know it doesn't work, but to me, I always just think that hair like falling in your face is sexy. That's why I like the bits, you know, because it just hair on the face. It's just something about that is sexy. I remember in the 80s, I wanted my hair to, I couldn't wait for it to grow past my eye because I just wanted to be in class with like my hair over my eye. It was like, oh, it's finally past my eye. I was so happy because my hair would curl and I'd be like, fuck. That I wanted it to go over my eye because I just wanted to walk like that kid yesterday and have it like over your eye.
How he
like,
kept having to do this. And it was like kind of cool.
But it's like cool. You're like, oh, I'm cool. Like I'm kind of shy and awkward, but I'm also like, I like my outfit today or what, you know, you're just like, you're that kid.
Yeah.
And everyone still makes fun of you and then you're like 18 and then you're cool.
Because they're just jealous.
Because they try to be you, but they can't. They can't.
Those bangs look great. I like how they're moving.
I just think it's so pretty.
Just
okay,
like
so I'm going to do my
refined
bits, but I'm going to work with, I'm just taking out her whole little front hairline. And I want,
I want candy.
I want hers to go, I'm going to do it different than I did it yesterday. I'm going to copy Karina.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm going to go from the front to the back because I want this all to sort of just do that.
Cute.
Like open up her face as opposed to having it fall.
Yeah, I love
Okay.
it. So cool.
And I use that as my guide and it's almost like I just,
It's so Marianne faithful. Oh, I love it. So cute. And there it is.
see how it is though, the bob, you're just like, like I still have, you know, you still have to think and concentrate, like.
You do.
I don't know, I feel like other,
It's
like I
hard
feel
to
like.
demo.
Unless
It's hard
you're,
to demo.
unless you're Kate, our friend Kate, like she just,
I know, everything's easy for
I
Kate.
know, I'm jealous. I want to be her, but I can't.
I know. I kind of want to be Kate too.
She's
She
a good
always
friend of
looks
mine.
good.
Yeah. She's just like, I don't know, I love watching her cut because she was just came out cutting hair.
And I love all the jewelry she wears.
Jewelry.
Jewelry. Just like makes all these sounds as she's cutting hair. I like it.
So this part is important with these bits. Like I really need them. I don't want them to be, you know, they have to have the same amount. Why can't I think of what I'm trying to say? The same density? Mm-hmm. Like I don't want one to look heavy and the other one to be lighter. So I really, again, I take that time because I feel like these bits for her really are, you know, part of that look.
Mm-hmm. And I think Debbie Harry did do a lot of her own cuts and
I think that's the thing too that, and I love also the hollow of a cheekbone is always, even if you don't have a cheekbone and you want to create a cheekbone, just think of where that hollow would be. It's always, I feel like it's always flattering.
Yeah.
It's always like flatters people's face, even on men, it just, there's those points. This is flattering, hollow, chin.
Yeah. Eyebrow. We have a comment. Kate is so cool and light-handed, but deliberate.
Yes. And who said that? It's like Kate.
That was Daniela. Kate's like, hi guys, just want to say.
You're like, Kate is so cool.
Jace says, I want to be Kate too. We're all like the Kate fan club.
Kate's a rock star.
Oh my God, she had a birthday party where it actually made a cake house.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That was funny.
Okay.
Well, Kate was rocking that tri-level back in New York.
Kate did everything first. I mean, she
what
did
was
all
it?
of
Like
it.
2000, maybe 15, 14? She's like, yeah, I just had my boyfriend like just take his scissors and cut that piece.
Yeah.
And so she had like bangs and a piece, and then I was like, what?
She
Let me
inspired
get a picture.
your bobs, your bangs, and your bits.
She inspired my whole vibe.
So I want it to just make sure, I don't want it to be too heavy. I want it to move. There's that. So we have that, we have all that.
Oh, yeah.
We got all this going on. And there you can see just all her natural texture. But what I'm gonna do really quick, I'm just gonna add I'm gonna take this off and just add a little movement. And I'm finding here, I'm just gonna do little pie sections, and it's something that I do at the end. And it's a layer, but it's also just, it doesn't look so much like a layer. I'm gonna cut from the inside out. Not so much in the back, just a little bit.
A little goes a long way.
Yeah.
With a bob, you know? It's like, uh-oh, it's not a bob anymore.
And I want to be careful not to take too much more weight out of her hair. But I think
it's a shob.
A shob?
Whoops, I turned it into a shob. Or the A-line, which Chris was like, please don't give me an A-line.
But see, even all of this, I think it's starting to really work, and
yeah, I like it.
And then I have just this little bit right here. I don't want it, just a little bit.
So see how he starts way below his target length to take up bulk, take away heaviness, and then barely takes that little length off the top.
And then I'm still just using this where it just naturally falls.
Sort of like pie sections.
Yeah.
Around the head shape, taking some of his previous into
You always want to make sure if you don't see what you cut previously and you just start going away, that's where you kind of, you get into trouble there.
Like, whoopsies. And then you have to go back to the other side.
You got to do that. And you got to do a checky check and a thing. And then it gets stressful.
Yeah. The slow way is the fast way.
And so this is going to be really awkward on camera. So I'm going to do it like this. Boom, dee, 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 boom, boom, chicka, boom, boom. Okay. So see where it's meaty? I'm just taking taking weight, little length, and really, it's just that bit. And then I just, I'm cutting a pie, even though I don't know if I've ever cut a pie or I know how to cut a cake, but I would imagine, yeah, that looks like, because I always say that, I'm like, wait, what does that mean? But yeah, it looks like the
beach ball shape. Beach ball sections. Yeah.
I like pie, beach ball. Beach ball sections, there we go. And so this part of it I love because...
Ooh, look how good it's looking already.
Because like Karina was saying, I feel like Debbie Harry and all those girls, what's her name? Iconic.
Patty Smith.
Yeah, Patty Smith.
Patty Smith.
They always just cut their hair. They were just
Chrissy Hine.
There's pictures of Patty Smith, the legendary one where she's cutting her hair. And that is kind of what made it cool.
Let's style her a little bit now, and then we'll style her the rest of the way off stage. And then I think we're running behind a little. So.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
What you got in there? What are you putting?
I liked this jelly.
Oh yeah, the jelly.
Yesterday I wasn't sure if I was ready for all that jelly, but today I am.
I think that's a good choice for Chris's hair type.
And there is a little piece that I need to address that's longer right there, but...
Well, it looks too like maybe it just needs a little weight removal.
Yeah. And then, do you think that this mixed in there with that is good? Okay.
Yeah. That product is the bomb. Let's play the before video of our model right now. Steve, the sound guy. That's his last name. Ooh. Alicia.
I just want to get that little piece.
This is our before. Who's that?
Yeah. Wait, put tilt your hand.
Someone photobombed it.
Is that my truck getting towed?
Uh-oh. There's a sign out there. It's for you, Brendan. Cute. That's very sexy.
Okay. Ah.
Ooh la 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 la.
So I always, again, I like volume through here. So I go through the crown. And I stretch the back out. Okay, all right.
35 minutes.
All right, sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh, how did it get so behind? So we'll style it a little more, but I just wanted to get it in. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think? Okay, so there we go. Sorry it took so long. Thank you. All right, thank you.
All right. Hair cutting Olympics. Come on. I'm gonna do it real quick.
So sorry it took so long.
This is Alicia. Oh no, it's okay.
Oh.
Alicia has dense strands. I mean, right. Strands. Yeah. So they're not fine strands. They're a little bit thicker. And this is her natural texture. It's so straight. And it's so pretty and fun. And we decided we were going to give her some bangs that, sort of school that have a little more hair.
What do you think?
Just above eyebrow, maybe at eyebrow, I'm thinking, But I think the thing that's going to be cool is just to bring it out a little further so that we get sort of this, you know, kind of frame around the eye and brings up the cheekbone. And then the overall length of the bob is going to sit just past the chin, somewhere in here, keeping it kind of classic and full. The bang, and then the bit, Travis and I talked about it. And really what she kind of came in with some little sideburns. These guys. So I was thinking I would take just this tiny little sideburn guy, hold him up and layer him with the flat so that it just kind of has just a little like short
Thank you.
kind of spit curl there. It's straight, so it might not curl. But because if I use the flat and I take all the weight away from it, it'll kind of go into a point a little bit easier than if I hold it low and try to do it that way, yeah? So straight hair, dense, a lot of it. So we're just gonna wet her down and get into it. What do you think?
Yes.
Any questions? I need this filled up or maybe just like, let me cut some of this hair off right now and then we can take her to the bowl. That might be easier. Oh wait, why am I trying to use your stuff? Okay, I just need to breathe. Ah.
It's all good.
It's all good. You guys don't need lunch. You guys like, Karina, we've seen a bob. We're gonna go to lunch. We'll see you later. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut some of this off a little bit so that I still have some hair to work with, but okay, you can go with Eric. And we're just gonna do this real quick.
Okay, cool.
Wet her down so I don't have, that's a cute cut. That's $100. Like, that'd be a fun show. It's like free haircuts at the park and you just do that all day. Like, no charge.
It's low. Is there enough water in the water bottle?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I promise. Okay, so have you guys, anyone here heard of the inside out haircut? Yes? So the inside out is a haircut that I learned in my training and it was a scissor cut. So it's just blunt scissor cut. And it's a bob that starts in the front and then you work to the back. So we're gonna do that, but we're gonna do a razor version of that. And it's a lot softer and it's like a little easier, I think. The scissor blunt is something that I still, like to this day, have to super slow down. I cannot talk while I'm doing a scissor blunt, like graduated bob or an inside out or anything like that, because I just feel like I need to focus so much. Where with the razor, I feel like I can let loose more. And remember, I've been using the razor for, I think, 18 years. So it's been, you know, that's why I feel that way. Someone who uses the scissor for that long is going to feel differently. They're going to feel easier with the scissor than with the razor. But for me, it's all about the razor. Are there any questions about anything while we wait for my model? What did you guys have for breakfast?
Daniela also, she wanted to compliment the makeup.
Oh.
Because the eye, I think, on your girl.
Yes.
It's really amazing. So she said she likes the makeup.
Yeah, thank you, Amanda.
Amanda, thank you. And thank you, Amanda, for the last 2 days of really turning out the makeup looks. They looked really beautiful and really kind of got what we were asking
It's hard to get a makeup artist to kind of see your vision and then it looks good.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you're like, yeah, no, that's not the vision.
Yeah.
That's not it.
But she has a nice aesthetic and I think she kind of gets what me and Karina like, which is good.
Yeah.
And Daniela also liked my haircut, so thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm really into like clean skin, like you know, like skin that just looks like there's some flaws maybe here and there. It's not overly like, you know, I like how that looks on camera. So, and then Amanda's kind of similar.
Yeah.
Like, I like that too. Let's show the freckles. All that stuff. Anything else?
Everyone's ready to go, ready for a model. Sorry, I was running behind everyone.
Oh no, it was good.
Got cut out.
It was good though. Yeah, and that looked amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was cutting really slow. I don't know why. I think I was just.
No,
I was trying to get used to
the time just like went by so fast.
Yeah, it just goes by fast. And
Okay.
you're like, oh yeah, we're in a class and a schedule. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, I just don't like trying. Yeah.
So, Alicia's hair is color treated. It's when Alicia came in. Actually, can we show the before video of Alicia while I comb through?
Oh yeah.
So this is Alicia's color, and we kind of took the roots and towards the back. Eric went through and kind of darkened the roots a little further down, if you can see, and left it around the face.
It's so pretty like that.
And I think it looks really good.
Yeah, it's
like,
more of a shadow. It doesn't look like a grown out root. It looks like a shadow. Which I think is so pretty. Eric did a really nice job.
Yeah,
Did it perfect.
and Candy helped too. Thank you, Candy. Thank you, Eric.
It's also important too just to have someone that you work with if you don't do cut and color, just that is your vibe. Like if you're like speaking the same language, which is nice.
Yeah.
Creating that language with your coworkers. So if you say certain things, they get what you're talking about or references, and then everyone around you starts to
Speak the same language is so important. And also working together, like any of you here specialize in cutting and not colored? No color? You do? No color, yeah. Me too. I'm only a cutter, but everyone else here does cut and color. Okay. Do you ever find yourself like cutting out a highlight or leaving them in on purpose, like that kind of thing when you're doing your weight removal? Oh, I don't have my razor here or my razor blades. Oh wait, Denny, I gave you my razor blades. And my razor is just not here, so maybe it's over here.
Oh,
I got it. Thank you. No, that's fine. I need blades. Just in case, thank you. I might just get a new blade now so I don't have to worry about it. I like a really sharp blade when I'm working with very straight hair, and especially if it's color treated, because I need a cleaner cut. I don't like to see like those firecracker ends, you know what I'm talking about? Or the like cotton candy ends.
I just put a mint or thing in my mouth.
What's
How
that?
many haircuts do you use each blade for? Do you have?
It's usually around 3, sometimes 2. I change it pretty often.
You do. You like
Yeah.
a more fresh blade.
Yeah.
I remember working with people, and they liked when the blade would be really dull. I don't really like that.
All right. So yeah, some people do like the blade dull. I think a dull blade works well on someone with skinny fur hair, like baby hair. All right, so I can just sort of get rid of Bangtown altogether.
Oh yeah, I didn't talk about the towns today.
I can just push this over and sort of get it out of my way so I don't have to think about it, but I'm going to start right in front. And I need a cape, almost forgot. Forever going to think about that like backwards thing. You guys all got to see it live. Okay. So I'm going to start, somewhere where I can get like some hair right here, not too much, but I'm looking at like from the bang, diagonal back, a little over the ear. I want some hair over the ear. And I want to go all the way back to center nape. So it's like I'm just drawing a line till I get there.
I love that.
I will need a clip because I have so much hair that
Do you like this one?
yeah. so what I'll do first is I'll just pretend I'm putting a ponytail right here, like just kind of comb it together. Lift, twist, and clip up here so I can see my parting. Okay, so chin up and tilt to the side. So I think the length I want it to be somewhere in here, and that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. So I kind of just measure, look to see where that is, you know, somewhere there. I would say like this is probably the length. So I'm going to keep my fingers there, and I'm going to elevate and over direct a little. Again, I'm going to measure, and then I'm going to eyeball where I want that bob to be. Then I'm going to bring it up, and I have my line drawn in my head. The hair gets a little noodly in some spots, so you got to watch out for that. More tension helps cut that a little cleaner.
What do you mean by more noodly?
It just is like bleached.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, noodles. And tilt a little more if you can. So in here, over the ear, I'm going to take a little bit of this hair from behind the ear. No. Take some hair from in front of the ear and go behind the ear. Do I need more? I think that works. Okay, turn this way. I can't see it, so I might need more. There it is. No, I might need a little more. I'm going to cut a little more like this. Then I'm going to go behind the ear. And again, I'm just elevating. This is just so I have a nice soft line. But I'm also going just a little shorter in the nape. And then as I get here, I'll have, oh, my clip fell. Sorry, is that pulling on you? All right, so right in here, my nape, I'm gonna eyeball my guide here. Elevate just a touch. You can even grab your guide. And again, I'm just sort of elevating a little. And then see here where there's a lot of bulk, I'm going to take a little out. That's like kind of right behind the ear like we were talking about. So it's a little softer. All right. My next section is going to follow. So I'll take another sort of inch thick section, following the head shape all the way down to the nape.
And Karina, why do you elevate the hairline or just the hair how you do? I think somebody had asked that question.
Why do I elevate? I'm creating softness at the line so it's not just a one length. If her hair were skinny hair, I would probably hold it lower and get more of a strong line. But because I have so much hair to work with, I'm deciding to lift it now right at the very beginning, right from the get-go, so I can get a soft line. Softer line, yeah, like with a little bit, you know, it's so graduating it already.
The softer the line will fall.
Yeah, and because I'm holding it kind of low, I'm still getting a strong bob, but it's just going to be a little softer.
So when the elevation is lower, the line is stronger. If you elevate, the more you elevate the section, the softer the line.
All right, and so each section that I elevate, I'm just elevating again kind of off the head, so straight off the head and straight forward. And I can see my guide underneath, and I'm just going just past it. And because I have my guide and I spent a lot of time working on my guide, it's really easy now because I can see it and I just go just past it. And it's really like kind of set myself up for an easier, now I can just like breeze through it.
What was your reference for this class?
The Inside Out, the Sassoon Inside Out.
Yeah, it's nice doing, starting from the front like that.
Yeah, it kind of is like a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah. It's not something that I really do.
And then I'll just kind of go through, and again, just like here and there, I'll take out a couple of guys. It's like taking out some cars from the parking lot. Like chunks. Chunk here, chunk there.
We have some special guests in the studio audience today, too.
Wait, we did not? Oh my God!
David and Albert, just want to give a shout out. Thank you for coming.
Baby, I love you. Oh my
Studio
God.
audience. Hi.
I was hoping you would come.
Alberto, legendary queen from California, Southern California. Lived in New York.
Come here, give me a hug.
Do you want to come out? Do you guys want to meet Alberto?
Alberto, the best person. Haven't seen Albert in a long time, but Albert worked with me at Bumble, and he's my baby.
Let's go.
Welcome. I always think of the story, Albert, backstage story, when I was asking my assistant to get my Tupperware from my bag, and my assistant kept saying, like, there's no Tupperware in your bag, and I'm like, yes, the Tupperware, get it, it's in my bag. It has James was my assistant. It's like James Ruiz.
Yeah. Oh, I love.
And he was like, no, sweetie, there's no Tupperware in your bag. And I'm like, so I go to my bag and I get it, and it's like not Tupperware, the brand. It's just like a plastic container.
Right. Oh.
And then Albert, you were like, Mexicans call it Tupperware. Like, and it's just like I'll never forget that story. It's so funny.
That's funny.
So this time I'm going through and I'm just kind of going, balancing out
nice.
the weight removal. You know, I'm
I
going
like that
about
section,
an inch.
just how you're going with the round of her head too.
Yeah, it's kind of, it is that rhythm thing. It's like you get into that rhythm, and then you just like, again, you're really looking at where you're combing the hair. So there's like a, you know, it's a straight off the head. And you have a guide, so you don't have to stress so much when you're doing it, because it's right there. And you just go past it with a nice medium stroke. And sorry, David is also here. David is special. David Dieguez.
Who's also legendary.
David Dieguez is legendary. He has his own dog. His own dog shampoo line.
Oh, dog shampoo line.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that actually.
It's for humans too.
Oh, it's for the whole family. Yeah, I get my little Mexican accent back real strong when there's Mexican in the room. It's for the whole family. Okay, cool. Yeah?
Yes.
You like?
So
it's
pretty.
moving, it's gorge.
wow.
We're not stressing. We're just like going with it.
Yeah. It's,
Remember, trust the technique, commit, don't waver. Just keep going.
That's great. It's such a good length on her too. Like it's so flattering. It just really.
I like this length. I feel like I can do the rest of that. Let me just do that. So So I'm going all the way to center back. This is what I'm working to. So I'm going to do this whole thing. I go past center back so that I have a guide for my other side, okay? So there we go. That's what it looks like. I'm going to finish this side. Straight hair to me is so like, I feel like it's so rare. Like really straight hair. It's like wiggy, a little wiggy. Sorry if I'm being weird about
She's
straight
getting wiggy
hair.
with it.
Getting wiggy with it. Okay, so this section is pretty dense. Normally I would probably do this in 2 sections, but I'm going to just go in and take some of that bulk away. Chin up and tilt. So here I'll elevate even higher because I'm coming straight off of that parting, yes? So that's what that's all about. Look for my guide, I can see him. I feel like I lost him in the front, so I'm just gonna grab more hair. All right, I have this. One of the ways to grab a section without messing with everything else is just to grab the long hair. So sometimes people try to go in and find it, but you can just grab the long hair and there it is. And it just makes your day go by a little faster. Okay, so elevating and just going past and here. There it is. And then here, and this is going around, elevating. Oh, look, I have a lot of hair here. So I'm gonna take some of this away so I can see better. It's kind of cheating, but that's what I'm doing. Just being honest. Okay, whoops, where's that hair coming from? Okay, that's in my next section. Okay, so here, again, just a little weight removal. Do you see how fluid that looks, that movement? That's just, you know, again, like Travis was saying earlier, slow down and really be deliberate about your movements.
Does anybody have any questions? I mean, it's cool. I just sometimes it's just like sort of mesmerizing. You get hypnotized just by watching. I always still like to watch people cut hair and do makeup. You know, it's always just, I guess because that's what I like to do. But I always like watching other people.
Okay. Okay, I might have gone a little too past my guide here. Too far past. So I'm just taking it up. There we go. So see how I made a choice and then I changed my mind. It didn't work. So that's just being present in what you're doing and then making sure that it's coming out like you want it to come out. Yeah, that's cute. I like it. And this last section. Does this make sense what I'm doing? Okay.
Does it make sense to everybody? Yeah.
It's almost
anyone,
like round graduation,
Yeah.
you know?
Does anyone want to, do you think that you'll start your bob in the front today? Yeah, it'd be nice. I want to go home and do this. Because I don't start in the front like Karina did. Nicholas does that too.
All right.
And I don't remember, Karina, did you talk about why you started in the front, just to do something different, or is there a reason why you prefer?
This is the inside out. They always started in
the inside out.
front. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Inside out.
Yeah. So you're starting from the inside and working outside.
Got it. That's why it's called the inside out.
Yeah. Like
It's gonna be my takeaway for
some people
today.
say it's just a bob with graduation, but it's not. There's a little more complication to that. It's like a little bit more graduated towards the back
Right.
than in the front. Okay, so I'm just going over some of these pieces that are falling longer than my bob. Elevating. Everywhere you elevate, you're going to see a bit of a guide.
So, Karina, there's a question from Daniela. What circumstances would you choose the inside out technique as opposed to starting from the back?
The inside out gives this sort of like bevel and fullness.
The inside out gives more of a bevel.
Yeah, so if it's not like that one like square bob that comes out like this.
Right.
But it's more of like that little like cups
so
under, and it looks fuller a little bit above the line, and the actual bob line looks a little smaller.
I like that.
Yeah.
Someone in my class was talking about beveling the hair yesterday. I don't know who, that was you. You said the bevel, and I was like, what do you mean? Well, now.
And that's how you get that, is with just that little graduation. All right, so I'm going to take a little bit of this bang now. I'm going to hold it where I want it to be, okay? And say I'm already picturing it. Right where that little like meow is, I'm going to cut. So I'm going to elevate, move away, and cut right where that little bevel is, a little bit with the flat. And then I'm going to come back and kind of give it a little meet. I'm going to meet it from the other side, okay? So it goes all the way out.
That's so pretty. Oh, I love that.
And so it's kind of like you just cut it where you place it, and you carve in what you want to see.
Yeah.
And then if you want to go a little further out, you can just add a little more bang. And it's only if it's there. Like she has a little more right there. You see it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I can add a little more. But I'll still comb it where it lives. I'll push it in, and I'll visualize where that little...
It's like the V bang.
It's like a V-bang.
Yeah. Or, same kind of concept.
And then my little sideburn guy. I just want him to be real small. To see, it's inspired by this natural. So I'll just sort of hold it. Let the weight of the razor sit on it. a little. Let's see what that looks like. So that's sort of like just taking it the maximum softness I can do. It's a little long. Can I have a gel?
Gel.
Yeah.
Should I walk in front behind you or? Yeah. The jelly?
Oh, just a gel.
Oh, a gel.
So it'll just kind of be like, well, and then the bang. Cute. Oh yeah, I forgot. Well, give me some gel. I forgot.
Not to be confused with the jelly.
This is different.
That word is so funny, jelly. I'm gonna name my baby Jelly. Jelly. This is Jelly. Yeah. Jelly bean.
That
Jelly
is
bean
cute.
spat.
I knew a jelly.
That'd be cute, actually.
What was her?
My mom's
I
like,
feel like
really?
she had a
Jelly
different
bean?
full name, but now I can't think. What would be the full name if your name was Jelly? Maybe Jillian.
Jellisa. My name's Jell.
Sorry.
This is my baby Jell Lisa. I like to call her Jelly.
That was just really quick. You came up with that.
Jellisa. I knew a Jellisa though. That's why. Jellisa.
Salt spray?
Not Jellisa.
It's brand new, so it takes a second. Salt spray I like. So when I think about grabbing a product, I always think about balance. So what does the hair feel like that I'm working on? And then creating some sort of, I wanted this to get like curly, but I knew it wouldn't. And I was hoping that I could place it in there with the gel, but I wasn't quick enough. So I'll just do that. Okay. So my first section is here. And this guy. It's just a little longer. Cool. Okay. Just I have to check before I go over here. It's sort of like my balance. This is me figuring out my balance. So for the next side, so much hair. I like to comb it in the direction that I'm working towards. And then sort of start right in there.
And how do you determine your first section? Just
I'm using like a similar density from here all the way back to nape. And sometimes in nape you're going to have a thicker nape, and so you might have to break that down a little more, but not for Alicia. Alicia's it's pretty good. Also, Alicia works at TikTok. She's making sure your live streams aren't, getting too crazy. She's
TikTok.
monitoring those.
She's a TikTok star. Like Alberta.
Okay, so back here, to get my balance real good, I have a trick that I use where I use the other side. Like we all do that. But sometimes we get in a rush and we decide, I'll just see if I remember, right? But I just don't have time for that.
Yeah.
So I pull out the other side, and I start in the back on this side. So that way I can make sure that if I start in the front, and then I'm, oh no, I have to do it again because I'm not short enough. So I'll start in the back. See that soft line? It's so pretty.
That's pretty.
Make sure I always go a little longer because I'm chicken. Good. Also, the other thing is I kind of come over here around the ear too and just make sure, right? So I'm gonna go. And working in the heel is a little tricky in this area because there's not a lot of space. But that looks pretty good. Now I can move over to the side a little bit.
And then as you're going around, you're starting to elevate it a little more, correct?
Yeah, and kind of like how I did on the other side.
Or you're keeping
Cool.
the same elevation? Yeah. Same. That's
Yeah.
what I meant to say.
Yeah, so what I did over there on that side is
Yeah.
I started in front and
Yeah.
worked towards back, and this time I worked from back towards front, and I just want to make sure that I'm balanced with my length on each side. Looks pretty good. I know it's going to get a little longer towards the front, so I'm going to keep going. Oh yeah, and then also in here it's really dense, so like I did on the other side, I'm going to go through and just kind of lighten it up a little bit, take out some guys. Okay, I like him. So leave him alone. And just trying to stay clean and organized in this cut because I'm working with a lot of hair. So again, I'll just go like an inch above my last parting, and I try to just keep that pretty similar.
Also, the color looks so good, Eric. Yeah. Who did?
Yeah, you did the roots.
Oh, it looks great. It's beautiful.
It looks good all the way
I
down
feel like
to
it's
the nape.
exactly what Karina had asked for.
Do you want to talk about what your choices and your since we have colorists in the audience?
Here, this is Eric.
Hi, how are you guys doing? So on her color, she was really bright towards the top, and it was with taking her length here, this became a focal point, so we just wanted to get rid of that. And so I went in with a really, like a level 4, really matte color, because her color on her ends is kind of flat, and I didn't want that to look flatter and have shine up on top also. So I went in with just, actually with Redken Shades 4M, and just like matted it out, and just worked kind of actually in the same way Karina's taking her sections in just like half moon shapes. So it just gives me like a nice soft graduation of the color blending into her length. And that was it. Like I think we processed 10 minutes on dry hair. We didn't touch her ends. We liked her color on her ends,
well,
but it was just a little bright. But it was a little bright right through the top. So that's what we wanted to like soften up for this haircut. Great, thanks.
Thank you. Okay, chin up again. Just like that. Let's go. What's that? This, yeah, so now I'm cutting in, I'm starting in the front again. So I got my guide in, and then I went back to the starting in the front. And just making sure that I'm not getting too much longer in the front here. keeping my eye on my balance, always thinking about my balance. You can never stop thinking about balance. And I'm just taking small sections at a time to make sure that I don't get lost. Taking a little bit of what's on this side and a little bit of what's on that side. I'm not there yet. I still need one more section before I can do that. But yes, making sense. Taking out a little bit of bulk here because it's extra dense. And then again, elevate. Wait, where am I here? See? Easy to lose your place. So don't do it. Focus. You see, now I have a guide on top and a guide on bottom. Cool, nice big stroke.
I think something that's really important that you do, Karina, and I see you do it all the time, is if you start to get lost in the hair, you keep combing until it shows you exactly what you need to cut. And I feel like a lot of times we get busy in the salon and we're like,
but I'm also like focusing on, oh look, that's bang. No wonder, hello. Hello. Let's shout out to Albert. Hello. Again, looking for that guide. You guys can see it, right? It's right there. Weight removal. And I was elevating a little too high on the other side, so I'm changing that on this side. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but the other side, I had to go back through it again because my elevation was too high. And I was going way past my bob line. So I'm bringing it back. Small sections are key. And when I say small, I don't necessarily mean here, I mean here. Because it's round, I can't take a really long section. I have to keep moving around the head shape. Little weight removal. And last section. Do you have a side part, or does your part move around?
Mainly in the middle.
Mainly in the middle? Especially if you work at TikTok. Like, I work at TikTok, I need to represent, okay? I'm gonna elevate a little more just to kind of go in and take off some of that bulk and keep going.
Looks good.
Making sure I'm not passing my guide too much. Right there. So I'll elevate and hold just a little lower to get it. So even though I'm just cutting a little off, I still want to remember my technique and still elevate to get that little guy rather than just go down here and get him. Even if it's just a little bit tiny guy. And then here's our last guy. Almost done.
It's looking really pretty.
I know, it's kind of one of those bobs that's
Beautiful.
worth it. It's
Yeah.
worth the work. And it just is a little time consuming, but it is
I also
worth
feel like it's going to grow out so pretty too, with the texture and the color. Because a lot of times I feel like in the last year and a half, people get their hair cut like once or twice a year now. So it's always, I mean, that's just how it's kind of been for me. It's really pretty.
And I'm just checking a little, like kind of cross-checking. Oh, hi guy. That guy's, we'll just keep him. Just kidding.
Keep him.
And this. Middle part. Okay. Okay, almost done, guys. Don't go. Okay, I'm doing a middle part now. So I think the important thing about doing this is really planning your length and your line. So I planned my line to be a little shorter in the back and longer in the front, but you could make this bob kind of rounded and it's cute.
Yeah, that would be cute too.
Or like bowly. You could do something more bowly. That'd be really fun if someone's into it. All right, so now I'm gonna cut my bangs.
I feel like that section would be really nice to cut a bowl, because you just see that first, you know, where it's going to fall, as opposed to starting in the back and then you get up here and you're like, oh, it's too long, or it's too, you just set that line right in.
All right, almost done.
I think we have a question or comment. Oh, and Danielle, she loves the way it's hugging the neck, right? Hugging the neck and the back. It's very flattering.
Yeah.
And it is. It's very flattering. It's very
kind of one
pretty.
of those flattering bobs that grows in really pretty.
It's really pretty.
And lasts really long. Okay, so again, I have an eyebrow over here. So I'm just going to picture that. And I'm going to go in with kind of soft, feathery strokes. And then I'm going to go this way. Until I run out of hair. You just got to be patient. And then I have my little sideburn friend. Hi, friend. You're gonna have two new friends over here that you may or may not like. Why's your hair so straight, you know? But I think it's whatever. It's cool. I like them. Big stroke. Just soft, 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 soft. I think they're just fun and unexpected little.
They're nice.
And they'll grow in really cool.
I love the little point. I like
yeah,
that
that's
a lot.
cute. All right, so for the ends, because the hair is, even though it's straight, I do want a little like of this stuff on the bottom to go into this like color treated hair. Wait, are these more bangs that want to come into this party? Yeah, I think so, because I changed the parts. So
yeah.
Let's cut them, I think. Let's see. Whoa, all that. that? No, no way.
I feel like it was kind of pushing forward a little too.
Yeah, maybe a couple guys.
Yeah,
Maybe not. Let's see.
a couple folks.
I think it's fine. Are we balanced?
I love the length too.
Yeah, I want to keep them on
it's
the
so
longer
pretty.
side.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah, that looks good. There is a piece here that came over sneaky. Sneaky piece. So really soft. You see how I almost like just lay my blade on the hair and then I start to do a stroke with it so that it just kind of melts it away. All right, we're gonna do one layer in the back here, just one.
A little one.
Just a little layer with her chippies. So she has some chippies and a layer and a sweater. Where's my sweater? It's little. There's a little piece I got.
You didn't do it if I said, remember?
What?
Buzz, why are you doing that in the back?
Because I want to.
Buzz, I said so.
Okay, so what I noticed is I had a little length over here on this side, so I'm just grabbing it, but it looks good, right?
Yes, it's gorgeous.
Let me just breathe now. I finally can breathe. Okay, so for my section back here, just a nice like good profile that's like question mark shape. But just for like a little extra messiness, I'm going to go from the wide point of her head to just above O-bone. Wide point of her head, just above O-bone. My section is going to be sort of like a V. I'm going to get rid of some of this. And this is just going to help add a little volume back here without changing my bob too much. So I'm going to start right in here.
I like that.
See how I didn't take any length off? Yeah. So there's no length gone. It's still the same length. But I just did a little like secret in there. It's a little secret. No one knows
I like
about.
what it just did too. It added a little something, something. It's good.
Okay. So there's lots of surf spray in there. I'm going to take my blow dryer and just sort of dry a little quickly, real quick like. Medium heat always and high pressure. And I'm just going to work at the roots. Do you want to recap the cuts?
Yeah, so starting with yours, Karina?
Yeah.
So Karina started her bob, mid-length bob in the front, following the head shape, cutting her line and setting it in, and then as she worked around to the back, to the nape of the neck, she started to elevate a little more to create more elevation, which created a little bit more of a bob with graduation. And then she did you went back and forth, and then she did the same thing. And then in the front, she did her bang section. And remember how she also just fell naturally? And she did almost like a V on each side, going from short to long and short to long. That pushes it off to the side. And then in the crown, was that sort of like a circular section?
That's good, right?
Yeah.
Circular, it was kind of like a triangle.
A triangle,
yeah.
Sorry. And then she went from the inside out, removing a lot of the weight, and then taking a little bit of the length off to create a little layer. It's beautiful. So good.
So cute.
Really, really good.
So that's just like a fun fun. Like you have to breathe after you do that because it's like almost like you're holding your breath till you're done.
Yeah.
Kind of haircut, but it's so fun. It's a fun technique, and it will help get you out of that comfort zone and really like create a beautiful shape that's rewarding after you spend that time on it. Brush it first because it got a little tangly on me. We have some rock and roll bobs today, huh?
Yeah.
I might put a little bit of serum. So I'm using
like the way it looks right now too. Just that would be cool in a picture.
Oh right, maybe not too much serum.
Yeah.
Forget it.
I like kind of that. It just looks so good on camera. I was like, oh, that's going to be a cool picture. Just that feathery.
Yeah, because Brendan's going to take pictures, so we want to make sure that I don't over product it.
Yeah, like that's so
But you see how it does this little...
Oh, I love that. The bevel.
So it's smaller at the bottom, fuller in here, and that's inside out.
Love, it's perfect. Thank you, Karina. So good. A great bob.
Voila! You're welcome. Will you stand up and show? Can you do a tuck so they can see your little...
The bits. Oh yeah,
your
don't
friends.
forget about the little bits.
They look cool.
Yes.
Yay! All right, thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
I think Michelle wants to tell you what your schedule looks like from here.
Let's see, it is 12:23 right now. Let's be back by 1:15. Like, so we'll start class 15 minutes later again today.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you guys for staying, even though we went over time, and I hope you guys come in.
Oh.
Thank you guys for watching our class. I hope you got some good. Wait, you already? Oh, we need both models up.
Oh yeah.
Sorry about that. Let me just touch it.
Get that little bit in there.
Oh wait, me too? Can you turn around?
I mean, I would probably do your hair a little straighter for the picture, but...
I might bevel this under a little too.
I know, or like
yeah, just for the picture, but it's all for the picture. Okay, thanks guys.